Good morning. Today we are going to go out for a little walk in a country park. We're going to meet up with some friends and I thought I would take you along with us, and hopefully we can film a little vlog today. Hey William. William has just woken up, so he's a little bit grumpy, aren't you? It's been a bit of a weird July so far, hasn't it? It's been quite cold this July. Today's the last day of July, and it's still pretty cold. Looks like it's going to rain again. So I think we're going to be having to wear our willies and raincoats. We were supposed to be having a picnic as well, but I think we might be having that in the car. And then this afternoon we're meeting up with another group of friends and we are going to be building some bird boxes at the pond allotment. So I think the children will enjoy that. So yeah, I'm going to get the children their breakfast, get William dressed, and then off we go. Want to go out? Yeah? Want to get your boots on? Straight up. So just as we have arrived, the heavens have opened and it is pouring down, so luckily we did bring all our raincoats and wellies and everything else. As you can see, it was a bit of a blustery day and it did rain a little bit, but not too much when we were actually out there walking. And we did manage to have a picnic outside rather than having to sit in the car, so that was a bonus. And we really enjoyed our cheese sandwiches. The children were just looking at the ducks here and they always enjoy just sitting there by the water looking at the ducks whenever we come here. William sitting on the table and he was pushing some yarrow into the ketchup, which I thought was rather strange, but there you go. He was enjoying himself, so I didn't think there was any harm in it really. Here are 2 loaves ready to go into the oven. These are sourdough sandwich loaves and I am just really enjoying this bread at the moment, and we're making this rather than the typical round sourdough bread because this one is just better for making sandwiches, so I'm going to pop these ones into the oven now. With all the onions that we got from the allotment, which was not a lot, but the ones that we got, I decided that I was going to slice them up, dehydrate them, and then make some onion powder. We did have a little bit of onion powder left over, but I realised that it must be going on for about 2 years old now, and really we need some fresh onion powder. I use onion powder in loads of different things, like bolognese, soups, stews, curries, pies, anything really, so we are always using it and it's just really handy to have. Here I'm just beginning to put the onion slices onto a dehydrator sheet to go in my Excalibur dehydrator, and it started off all neat, but then as you can see William decided he wanted to sit on my lap and he was very interested in what I was doing, so things got a little bit messy from there on, but it doesn't matter. It all dehydrated in the end anyway, and then I just blended it up in the dry container of the Vitamix and it came out really well. I did have to put William down
just not long after this bit was filmed, because his eyes were getting really sore from the onions, as you can imagine. So William definitely learned something on this day, which is that onions make your eyes sting when you're cutting them up. So right at the end, when I'd finished chopping up all the onions, William was back on my lap, and as you can see, yeah, it was messy, and this was how it all looked before it went into the dehydrator. And of course nothing was wasted, because all the scraps went into making some new compost. Now I'm just getting the sourdough sandwich bread out of the oven, and it was just lovely and delicious as always. It doesn't look spectacular, it doesn't look very pretty, I don't think, but it certainly tastes very good, and everyone in the family loves it, so it's good for us. Can you believe that from all the onions that we grew in the allotment, this is it, apart from a couple of onions which I used in cooking already, but other than that, all the onions, this is it. It's such a tiny amount, so I must have used so many more onions last time I made onion powder, but I actually can't remember how many I used. But yeah, it doesn't make much, does it? But anyway, we've got some. That will definitely last a while. So this is it. This is our year's worth of onion powder. I think we need to try a lot harder next year. But anyway, it's something, isn't it? Yesterday, my daughter Scarlett said to me that she wanted me to help her cook a pasta dish for dinner tonight. So we're going to do a creamy chicken pasta dish. And I thought, well, why not make some sourdough pasta, because it's just a lot easier to digest and everything. So we got our pasta dough started last night, and that's been sitting there all night. So I thought before we go out, what we'll do is we'll get the pasta all made and on the rack drying. And yeah, a few years ago, one of my daughters bought me this pasta attachment for the KitchenAid, which makes life a lot easier, because I used to make pasta by hand with the one that you know. And then not long ago I got this pasta drying rack which folds up really neatly, and again it just makes life a lot easier when you're making pasta, so you don't have to have pasta laying out everywhere on tea towels. So yeah, so we're gonna quickly make some pasta and let it dry while we're out. So it's that quick and easy to set up, and when you put the pasta on, hang on, you use this tool to place the pasta onto there. I'll show you in a minute how it goes, but yeah, a really handy little gadget, and I'll leave a link below if you are interested in where I got that from. So now I'm just going to divide this dough into 8 pieces. I am today going to take the children out to a lovely farm that's near us, and there's lots of animals that they can see, and there's a really good play park that they can play in, and also there's a really good garden centre, which is the bit that I'm particularly interested in, so I'll be having a good look round there. And there's also a nice cafe which we might pop into. We'll see how it goes. So we've just arrived at the farm, and yeah, I've just got the 4 children today. I've got Will, Scarlett, Henry and William. And we've just arrived here and the car park is pretty full over that way with lots of classic cars. So we're going to go and have a look at those old cars in a minute. Didn't know that that was happening today. And I've also just seen a load of motorbikes, so I don't know what they're doing. But yeah, it looks like there's lots going on here today. It looks very, very busy. That's cool, isn't it? Chicken. Chickens.
Oh, they look so tiny. It's so tiny. I'll get my hand. It looks like they're smiling.
And look at these gorgeous, gorgeous pigs. Don't they look lovely?
Big and fluffy. Well, we're not allowed to come.
Get down. Come on.
Come on.
Look, this is a donkey.
Donkey.
2 donkeys. Oh. Oh, William, do you like them?
Oh, they feel muddy.
Oh, yeah.
Say donkeys.
William, do you like the donkeys?
Why have they got 5 of them? Can you say donkey, William?
Yeah.
You're right, I always say.
I think this is my favourite bit, where the pond is, and there's lots of different birds and lots of food. Find any eggs, let me know. That would be good, wouldn't it, if we found some eggs?
Would you eat them?
I'll probably hatch them. I wouldn't take it off them, but it would be good to hatch some, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Is that big duck? What, Mum? They ate their eggs in the
Look at
water.
that. No. Look at that one, look.
Oh,
Goose. Vicious they are.
look. like goose.
Yeah, be careful it doesn't chase you.
What happens? This is really vicious.
It would peck you.
Can it jump over this fence? Keep your hands away, William.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, get him away.
Oh, can I strike one?
I wouldn't. Vicious.
Oh no! It's gonna peck your fingers off if you stroke it.
Hello.
It's got a hanging message.
No, it will bite you.
It will bite. Does it hurt?
Yeah.
Really hurts. Can it bite your finger off? It's got like teeth, Charlotte. It's got like little teeth, pointy teeth, and it really, really hurts. Careful, Mum. Don't let it bite the camera. Look here. Why is it just waiting there?
Just having a look at us, seeing who the hell we are.
Why has it got that skin?
You want a neck like that, don't you?
No,
Scarlett?
no. Why has
Are
it
you
got
sure?
skin like that?
That's just how they are.
Like chickens. Did you bring a knife?
I didn't actually, no. I just didn't think about that.
Did you hear that noise? Did you? Oh, it's so like stuck together.
Webbed, yeah.
Why do you stuck together?
So they can paddle and swim easily.
Oh, all of them are disgusting.
That's how you know that these birds live in water.
They're not birds. They are birds.
Why have they got wings then and beaks?
Yeah, and why have they got feathers? Because they're ducks and they've got a big
Ducks are a type of bird.
animals with feathers, kind of like a type of bird. Wait, what is that ring on its foot?
That's to say that it belongs to this farm here.
Come back, William. Oh. Does it have on every animal?
These are ruby red Devon cows and they are also really beautiful.
Look, cow. I dare you to be one of those people when you're older. Like one of those cowboy people and jump over the rolls and stand to it. And do the splits in the air, jump over.
Produce a premium beef apparently. Hiding behind the trees now.
Mum, I want to be one of those people that jump over bills. You know those? What are they called? People have the red flag. No, they're just the people that jump over bills. I don't know, there wasn't even a thing. And they do the splits in the air. Is it only for boys or can girls?
You want to be a cowboy, is that what you're saying?
No, not a cowboy. They're
Cowgirl.
that jump over the bills.
I don't know.
Boys that jump over the bills.
The ones that do the bullfighting. But they killed the bull in the end, that's not very nice.
Do they actually?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it's the sport.
I wanna get too close, gonna get it right now. I wanna push all the limits with you right now. So what's your feelings? The city's screaming, we're not coming home tonight. We're living quick in this world, gonna get it right now. People talk and tell what you wanna hear now, but they all disappeared, they will let you down. So we better stick together, let's come whatever, we're not coming home tonight. We're living quick in this world, gonna get it right now.
This shows how lots of different trees are used to make, well, were used to make wooden ships. So yeah, that's interesting. Yew to make an axe handle, hazel to make a food cask,
Oh, you can actually
silver
make
birch
that
to make a
stuff,
broom.
Rudy. Can actually
What
make
else have we got? Black poplar to make case of wood. I remember when it used to seem like a bit of an ordeal to take just 1 or 2 children out, but now when I take 4 children out it's like, oh, it's only 4 children. It's funny how things change. I mean, I've always been quite relaxed about the whole thing, but now I guess I'm even more relaxed than I was when I first started this motherhood journey.
We only need the two of us together, 'cause we got love. 'Cause we got love. You wanna get to me close, why don't you do it right now? You know we met for a reason, but you trying to deny.
I always bring a pushchair out with us because, you know, William's only young, but he always refuses to go in it lately, and it's been going on for about a month, maybe 2, but I keep trying to encourage him to go in the pushchair just because sometimes it's a bit easier, because pushchairs are really handy to put all the bags on and all the stuff that we're taking with us or whatever, and also it's just easier to keep a track of William and what he's up to. But no, now it's just impossible. He will not go in his pushchair at all. If I try to put him in the pushchair, he will scream and contort his body in such a way that it is just impossible. There's no chance. So today I put the pushchair in the car, and when we got here I said to him, do you want to go in the pushchair or do you want to walk? And he just said, walk, didn't you? But now you're having a piggyback, aren't you, William? Ignore me then. But I don't think we will be bringing the pushchair out anymore. I think that's it. I love the way this bench is made. It looks so good with just using some large sticks. I feel like I need to make something like this.
Look at that bird over there.
Where is it? Oh. Scarlett's just found a tiny weeny frog.
Is it
I
real?
don't know how
Is
you
it
spotted
alive?
that
Is
in
it
the
actually real? To keep it as a pet. Yeah, I definitely am.
You won't be able to keep it. It lives here.
Oh no, I want it. Oh no!
Oh!
Let me hold it!
Don't Will have the turn of holding it.
Oh, fine. Mummy, just squishing it!
He's not.
Yeah, it's alright.
There's no single ride this way. It's 2 or 3 in a car.
Right, just going to swing up in a minute.
Okay. Whee, brilliant. You see? Wow.
We're heading for tonight. You better take what you can, 'cause the time is right now. We only need the two of us together. 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 'Cause we got love. 'Cause we got love. We only need the two of us together.
That was the big wheel we just went on. So I like what they've done with this bath here. As you know, we've got, if you've watched my previous vlogs, we have a bath left in our allotment from the previous people, and I thought we could do something like this with it maybe, or make a pond is the other thing I was thinking. But this looks quite good.
This is so cool.
And they've done that with the toilet as well, and a sink.
Look, where's this one? It's a bell.
Very good.
This
This is my very tiny weeny haul from the garden centre. So I got a load more leeks to plant because they are growing really well at the allotment, and I thought we could definitely grow a few more. And I've got this salvia for the garden, which I just love the flowers of. I'll show you. And then I got some Desiree,
potatoes, and it says that they'll be ready by Christmas if I plant them now. So that's wonderful. And I also got some Charlotte potatoes, the 10 seed potatoes in there. And again, it says they'll be ready by Christmas. So that sounds perfect. So that's it. That's the tiny weeny haul. I would have loved to have got a lot more. Well, I had to abandon the pasta making early on because I realised that because I'd made a sourdough pasta dough, I'd left it out and it was at room temperature, so it was just too warm to work with. So I divided it into 8 pieces and I put each of them into the fridge while we were out, and now I'm hoping that it's going to be a bit easier to work with, but we will see. So it's still super sticky. I've managed to run it through the pasta machine, but I'm not going to risk cutting it into tagliatelle through the attachment that I've got to do that. So I'm going to cut this into strips by hand because I'm just worried it's going to get stuck in the machine otherwise. So I think I'm doing it a bit better now. This is the bit I've been doing off camera, and this is the bit I was doing when I was filming, and it, you know, isn't as good. Anyway, what I think, go and ask Scarlett, she'll help you. Go and ask Scarlett. Anyway, what I think is every time I make pasta, the dough feels slightly different, and you have to, when you start, it always seems to go wrong. It's like when you make crepes or pancakes. The first 1 or 2 is always rubbish. Yeah, the first couple are always a bit of a disaster. So I think it's the same with pasta. When you first start a new batch, the first bit, for me anyway, some people might be perfect from word go. I'm never perfect, certainly not from the beginning. For me, when I first start, it is always bad at the beginning. So if you're making pasta for the first time, don't let that put you off. Keep going, because eventually you'll get a feel for the dough and everything and how it can work. So with this particular dough that I've made, even though I've used the same recipe that I've used lots of times before, it's just particularly sticky today. So obviously I'm dusting it with lots of flour as I go along, but I'm only going halfway through the settings on here, so it's not as thin as usual, it's quite thick. But that's the only way it's working without breaking, and also then the pieces are a lot shorter and it's just a lot easier to work with. And yeah, and I'm just cutting it by hand because there's no way that's going to go through the other attachment, 'cause I've got this other attachment that cuts it into the linguine or tagliatelle, but it would just stick into that, so I'm just going to cut it all by hand. So it is working now. I'll try and video me cutting it and see if it will work while I'm filming. We'll see.
First time it stuck to the knife, but you know, of course, when I'm filming, things tend to go wrong. I have finally finished rolling and cutting all the pasta, and yes, it's not brilliant, but it's done at last, and I hope it tastes good. I think it will. Homemade pasta is always good. Well, it's the next day and I'm just changing this light fitting here because it's broken. We live in an old house and things break all the time, so I've got a couple of things to replace today. And it's Friday and I just wanted to get it done before my husband came back from work for the weekend, because the last thing I want is for him to have loads of different, you know, bits and pieces to do when he's off, because he doesn't get much time off. So I'm going to try and get this done. So usually these things are really straightforward, and I'm hoping this is. Obviously I've turned the main power switch off to the house. Just checking. And the pasta that I made yesterday, which was quite awkward, was really, really nice. So everybody loved it. We made it with a chicken with a cream sauce that was really garlicky and had some spring onions in and some peas, and it was just really delicious. And well, yeah, I'm definitely going to be making that again. The pasta was, oh, ouch, really good. So although it was a bit of a pain to make, I'll definitely be doing that again. So this is the one I'm replacing it with. It's just like the cheapest one from Amazon. It's £1, I think, £1.19 or something like that. It's just a light switch at the end of the day. It doesn't need to be fancy. I'm just hoping it all lines up. It looks like it does, so should work fine. So I'm trying to see what screwdriver I need. So when you do things like this, all you have to do is remember where the wires went and put them back in the same position, and it's that easy. So I've got to change one of the, if you can see, one of the light pendant things upstairs as well. And again, I just got the cheapest one, and it's a couple of pounds from Amazon. So yeah. Always, whenever we repair anything in this house, we come across little problems, and here I can see that one of the wires has not been, the plastic casing has not been stripped back enough, so I'm just going to have to get some tool, I can't remember the name of the tool, pliers or something, wire cutter, I don't know, the thing that strips the wire off of there, so I'm going to have to just take a little bit off there. I will show you what I mean. Here you can see how much wire is exposed at the end of here and all of these, but on this one there's only a tiny bit, so I need to just take that plastic casing back a bit, because when I took the switch off, this one just literally just fell out, so it wasn't properly in. So I'm going to get the tools that I need to do that now. So hopefully these are the right tools. They do not seem to be going through the plastic. The plastic is really like the toughest plastic you've ever known in your life. I'm going to try a knife. Okay, so that did the job. on to the next stage. Hopefully this is going to be nice and easy. There are a different amount of holes in this one, but I don't know which one's which. I'm just going to go for the 2 outer holes and see how it goes. Are not fitting, so I'm going to have to use the ones that were on the old switch because I think they're longer. Yeah, look, see, that's why. That is why. As you can see, I've got the new one here, which is a lot shorter than the old one, and the new one isn't reaching into the proper bit that it screws into, so I'll put the old ones back in. Well, my camera battery died on the other camera, but I thought you'd love to see the end of me fixing this on. So I quickly ran upstairs and got my other camera, but yeah, here we go. You ready? And then we've just got these little white things to cover the screws. Which don't really fit in very well. Never mind, it was cheap. So now I'm going to turn the power back on and see if it works. Well, it appears something isn't quite right because I've got, when this switches off, I have the light on. When I turn it off, on, it goes off, so I'm going to have to change that. So there are more holes in this one than the old one, as I told you, so I guessed about putting these wires in the 2 outside holes, but I think this one needs to be moved over to the other one, so I'm going to do that and then see if the light switch comes on. I mean, the light comes on when the light switch is the right way, so we'll have a go at doing that now. So now, this time before I screw this whole thing in properly, I've just put the power back on and I'm going to test whether the lights come on when this actually goes into the on position. Yes. And the other one. Yes. So I figured that out and now I can get that screwed back in properly. Now my next job is to just change the ceiling pendant light thingy-majiggy up here. As you can see, it's cracked. I don't know how these things break, but they just seem to always break in this house. So I'm going to do that now, but I won't film it because it's probably going to be really boring. As you can see, I don't know if you can actually, I managed to get the light fitting changed and it's working, which is fabulous news. And yeah, the light switches are done downstairs, so I'm very happy that I've got those tasks done before the weekend, before my husband gets home, so he can come home and relax and we can have a lovely weekend. And yeah, so it's Friday and we are looking forward to having our movie night, which we always have every Friday. And yeah, that's it for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been good vlogging again and I hope to see you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.